In this video, we want to show you what you should be doing when you purchase a new to you used car. So we have just added a 2011 BMW 328i xDrive to our package of cars. This car is going to be for our son to drive, who is just coming up to getting his driver's license. So we want to go over this car and make sure that it is safe to drive and that it won't leave him stranded out and about when he's driving. Now, one of the things with new drivers is with older cars, they don't often know what all the warning systems mean and what everything means on the dash. So someone with more experience may know, hey, yeah, the check engine light comes on, but the car's operating normally, I can drive it home. Or if a brake warning light comes on, should I stop? Do the brakes feel normal? So these are things that we want to go over and look at first. One of the first things that I always want to do is establish a service baseline. That means I can't guarantee over the last 10 years that this car has seen any kind of service. There's no records in the car. So I'm going to establish a major service baseline. That means all of my fluids are going to come out. Engine oil, power steering fluid. Brake fluid is going to get changed. I'm going to pull all the wheels and do all of my inspections. Now, this car has already been up in the air and I've already had a chance to look over it, and we've ordered a lot of the basic service parts, but we still need to go into a little bit deeper. This car has about 163,000 miles on it, so it is going to need some service items to bring it up and make it safe to use. One of the first things I want to do, because we live in a cold climate here, is I want to check the antifreeze content and condition. And this is just a quick hydrometer that'll tell me what kind of shape it's in. Doesn't look too horrible. I got 3 balls floating, so it does have some antifreeze qualities to it. I'm still going to go ahead and change it just so I know where it's at. But in the meantime, until it gets changed, I don't want to have any issues. Some of the other things that I'll look for is all of these pieces in and tight. Are there any missing screws? We're going to change all of the filters, air filter, oil filter. I already have, back here is where our cabin filter sits. I already have it off, ready to change. And then things like, you can see we've got some leakage around our power steering reservoir. So I ordered a new O-ring for that, and we'll change the fluid. So I'm going to lift it up. Let's take a look underneath. That one was loose. God. Wheel is just stuck on there. Yeah, just the corrosion. Brake rotors feel okay enough for now. Brake pads about half worn. But yeah, you can see the corrosion there. So we drove this car back from a town that was about 45-minute drive in a really rainy downpour, and the car was really skittish at speed. They also had a lot of vibration, and I can feel the tread on the tire. Even though it's got some tread left, it's getting kind of close to our wear bars on the outside edge. And this outside edge is also feathered, like it was towing in a little bit on the car. Definitely going to need alignment, definitely need to look at the wheel balance. So that's one of the things we want to make it safe, is it's got good rubber and good alignment. With higher mileage cars is shocks and struts. Will typically be bad. Even though the car's not that old, it's got 160,000 miles on it. The front strut here, the body's not showing any major signs of oil leakage, but what I do see is when I look up inside my dust boot up here is we have our bump stop, which is that little orangey thing that we can see. And that bump stop has had some degradation to it. and that is because things are bottoming out and it tends to break up. So I have ordered for this car a set of front struts, very important to the way the car handles, and as I said, I want it to be safe, as well as rear shocks. Now in the rear, we can actually see the oil leakage on the shock, which shows that it's pretty much done. So we're just going to get the oil draining on this car. I can get the socket on. It doesn't want to fit very well. And we'll go ahead and let that sit and drip for a while. So I've dropped my transmission pan as part of changing all the fluids. Oil is pretty nasty. But on the plus side, there's not a bunch of metal in there, so that's always a bonus. Transmission shifted okay. I drove it probably about 80, 90 miles home. So it got a pretty serious road test from me. And I'm just about, I've already washed down out of the transmission here, got most of the old oil out as much as I could. I've already washed the pan. I'm going to put a new filter up in there and put the pan back on. Just like that. Part of establishing a baseline on this car, I've got all the spark plugs out, and you'll see I've got these in order with the plugs just so I can keep them. This is 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. I have this one out of the arrangement for two reasons. When I got to it, this was not seated all the way down, so it was actually sitting up probably a good 1/4 of an inch. And if you take a look at the spark plug, you see how it's all furry and corroded. That's because the spark, and the same down inside our coil, is all corroded and nasty in there. And that's because the spark was arcing to jump to the spark plug. When I drove it, it felt like it could have had a partial misfire. There were a bunch of codes in the entire car, but engine and transmission, so I didn't really care too much about it. Still had good power, but this is the kind of stuff that we want to catch now, where a mechanic, I mean, these plugs may have only had 10,000 miles on them. They're not looking particularly horrible. You can see this oil is coming from the valve cover gasket. Not particularly horrible right now. I'm going to leave it for the time being. But this is the kind of stuff we want to catch when we get a new used car. So while I have the plugs out, I'm going to run a leak test, leak down test on all of my cylinders. This is going to give me a baseline, and if you don't know what a leak down test is, it's a way of checking the piston rings, and valve seals to see what kind of condition they're in. Now, this car has 163,000 miles on it. We have no idea of the maintenance on it, and what I'm looking for is somewhere between 0 to 15% would be what I would expect to see on this car. Normal wear and tear, probably with 160,000, I'm going to be looking for around 10 to 15%. Up to 20%, not a major deal. Once you start getting beyond 20% leakage, then that's something where you're going to have to address whatever the internal component is failing. So I'm on cylinder 1, TDC right now. I've just used the ratchet to turn the engine over. I have zeroed my gauge, and looks like we're right at around 10% leakage, so pretty much perfect. So I'm just going to rotate through my firing order, which is 153624 on these cars, and just check them all down. I'll record those leak down numbers just so I have a record of it and keep moving forward. The part of getting this car up and safe for use is looking at things like our headlights. And this is what both of the headlights look like, a little bit of cloud when you feel them. They're really sandblasted rough. I've refinished this one over here. It feels better, it looks a little better. There's still some clouding on the inside of the lens that I just can't get to. Once again, we're not looking for restoration, we're just looking for safe and drivable car, and it made a reasonable improvement. So this is the kind of things you need to look at doing on these cars. And plus, when I bought this car, it was really awful. It was raining and the wipers were doing absolutely nothing. I'm taking the old wiper blades where this car has sat for a long time and the blade is flat as a pancake. Putting new wipers on makes a big difference to the drivability of the car as well as the safety in wet weather. So the car has been in service now for about 4 months, and so far pretty good. We did have to change all of the rims and tires. I was able to save a little bit as I did have an existing set of rims that I was able to put on. I've kept the original ones. I will probably get them repaired, but 3 out of 4 were pretty badly bent and pretty rough. I mean, some corrosion in here, nothing that's really terrible, but it's still a question as to whether or not they get repaired. As far as the car, so far has been pretty reliable. We do still have a minor vibration at 50, and I think I've narrowed that down as to what it was. It was tough at first because the rims and tires were so bad that I didn't want to dive straight in and start pulling things apart that didn't need to be pulled apart. As far as drivability, it's pretty nice. The car starts in the morning. Right now here in Arizona, it's winter time. The temperatures outside have been as low as negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and the car still starts up. Warm it up for about 15 minutes, get the inside of the car drivable, and it hasn't really given us any problems whatsoever. So as far as what I have in the car, we paid around $5,500 for the car to begin with. Not bad for a 2011 model, but it is a higher mileage. As far as parts and materials going into it, I've spent around $1,500. I did have to buy new tires, even though I had existing rims. The tires, A, were a different size, and B, they needed to be changed. With struts and service components, pretty much about $1,000 in those items just there. Also, we've got to remember there is no labor charge involved in this. If you were to have a shop to do it, I would expect a bill $3,500 to $4,000 depending on the shop and the labor rates. Money that I do have left to spend, I believe the driveline vibration, I'm probably going to spend around $150 in parts to resolve that, and we'll show that in a later video. So all in all, for the money that we've got into it for a first car, we're pretty happy with it. Our son enjoys driving it. He doesn't have any problems operating the vehicle. It's reliable, the braking systems work well, and as far as a used car purchase goes, I think it was a pretty good purchase. So that wraps it up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, place them in the comments section.